大家好，中文周好，我叫 Nick， 我的中文名字是戴立明，我在澳大利亚悉尼出生，我最近10年住在新西兰的奥克兰。Welcome to Chinese Language Week. My name is Nick. I'm originally from Sydney, but have been living for the last decade or so in Auckland. I started studying Chinese at the age of 12. I was lucky enough to go to one of the very few high schools in Sydney that offered Chinese as an elective. I then continued Chinese in my undergrad degree, majoring in it, and then subsequent to that, I did a Masters by Research, where I was lucky enough to be able to use Chinese language sources as the basis for my research. Since then, it's been mainly self-study, and there have been ups and downs. Some years, perhaps even some decades, my Chinese has gone backwards rather than forwards. Then at other times, it's been given a bit of a burst. So it's been an interesting journey, but a thoroughly enriching one. I'm not a good student of languages, and I understand that Chinese is probably not one of the easier languages. 对我来说，中文很难学。But one of the best parts about Chinese language, and I guess any language, is the ability to use it. When you reach that point where you can string a few words together and it starts to make sense. At the end of year 10, I had the chance to go on a study tour to China for 3 weeks. And it was the first time that I got the chance to use Chinese outside the classroom. And it was a real eye-opener for me. It made me understand that learning another language really had a purpose. And understanding that really motivated me to continue in my study of Chinese. It's difficult sometimes to get the motivation to get out and about and to throw yourself into the deep end, to put yourself out of your comfort zone and engage with people in your second language. But when you do, it can be really rewarding, and it's been certainly one of the more rewarding aspects of studying Chinese, the ability to be able to converse and to understand things from people from different places with different perspectives. Studying Chinese has certainly opened up a world of opportunities. Following high school, I was lucky enough to get a scholarship to study Chinese in Beijing for 12 months. As a 17-year-old, that was a real eye-opener, and it did play a role in, I guess, pushing me down the Chinese path. About a decade later, I joined the Australian Public Service in what was then the Department of Immigration and Multicultural Affairs, and the ability to speak and converse in Chinese was really a benefit to me in securing that job, and the recruiters looked upon that very highly. About 6 years after that, I was lucky enough to be posted by the department as a diplomat to Shanghai. I worked at the Australian Consulate General in Shanghai for 3 years. Again, able to use Chinese in that role, interacting with our clients and staff, and being able to utilize Chinese in, I guess, the myriad aspects of life living in Shanghai. In 2008, I was posted to the Australian Embassy in Beijing, which was a really interesting time in China's contemporary history with the staging of the 2008 Olympic Games. So that was again just a joy to be there at that time and experience that event. I've been lucky enough to travel around most of China. I've been to either end of the Great Wall, which I guess is a bit of a personal boast for me. I've even, in fact, had the opportunity to run a marathon along the Great Wall, which was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. What would I say to other Kiwis who are thinking of learning Chinese? Go for it. Chinese is one of the longest continuously spoken languages in the world. That gives it a real proximity to history. It makes it a real gateway to a civilization that's just been around for a long time, and a country that's been around for a long time in various formats. Chinese is not the only language spoken in China, and the people who speak Chinese are not just in China either. There's a Chinese diaspora spread all around the globe. So it's an amazing window into philosophies and religions and ideologies and experiences that China has to offer in its history and complexity. So if you are thinking of studying a language, I do recommend Chinese. And if you are thinking of learning Chinese, then go for it. Do I have a favorite Chinese word or expression? I guess I do. It's an expression and it goes something like this. 人往高处走，水往低处流. And that translates roughly as, just as people aim for the heights, water flows downhill. And to me, that basically says, as people, we aim to improve. We're motivated to go higher, to go further. And that's the natural order of things. Whether we like it or not, we're programmed in that way. And so when I'm feeling bad, perhaps about my Chinese language learning, or when I'm not feeling particularly productive or smart, I'll often think of this expression and reassure myself that I can improve, I can go higher, I can go further, because that is the natural order of things. That's what I've been designed to do, and that's what we've all been designed to do. So may as well get over myself and get on with it. At any rate, that's enough about me. Have a wonderful Chinese language week, and if you're thinking about it, break a leg and learn Chinese. Thank you.